Hello, Roy. Hello! Welcome to my 2023 TBR. So 23 books I want to read in the year of 2023. This is my minimum goal. So hopefully I will read more than 2 books a month. But this is where we're starting. For 2022, I only read from July onwards. So I broke my reading slump and let's just dive right into the books. So these are the physical books I own that I want to read and get off my TBR. So let's start with the middle grades. So number 1, The Glass Witch by Lindsay Puckett. I've heard it's amazing. I love her channel. It says, I might be an obligation, a curse, a blight on this family, but it is my family, and no one is going to hurt them on my watch. I might get hurt, I might even get my soul sucked out, but some things are worth the risk, right? And maybe a little voice whispers in the back of my mind, this sacrifice will prove what I couldn't before, that I deserve to be in this family. So, very excited. This is book numero 1. The next middle grade is Don't Turn Out the Lights, which is a tribute to Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. So it is 35 chilling stories from all of these authors. So I'm very excited. It looks like there are some illustrations. Not many, but there are some. So very excited to get into some short middle grade horror. I may want to do a collection of my own in the future of short middle grade horrors, but we shall see. This may inspire me to just take the plunge sooner than expected. We'll see. And the last middle grade on this TBR is The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. I have not read it. It says, Nobody Owens, known to his friends as Bod, is a normal boy. He would be completely normal if he didn't live in a graveyard, being raised and educated by ghosts. There are dangers and adventures for Bod in the graveyard, but it is in the land of the living that real dangers lurk. Roy, leave my tree alone. Sir. For it is there that the man Jack lives, and he has already killed Bod's family. A deliciously dark masterwork by best-selling author Neil Gaiman with illustrations by 2-time Kate Greenway Medal winner and acclaimed artist Chris Riddle. Or is it Riddell? I don't know. But yes, The Graveyard Book. I have one YA on here, and that is Clown in the Cornfield by Adam Cesare. Please don't boop the chair, sir. I know you're adorable. Yes, so this is about a small town that is dying. The people are moving away, and there was a fire, and a kid died, and yeah, apparently a clown goes on a killing massacre. I got this far through it already before. I got through all of the setup and stopped and got sidetracked before the killings actually started. So hopefully I will actually get to the slaughter in Clown in the Cornfield this coming year, 2023. Next is Tender is the Flesh by Augustina Bazterrica. Roy! I know! I had to go get the squeaky toy out of his mouth. Okay, Tender is the Flesh, which is about our society in the future when we can no longer eat animal meat, we can only eat human meat, so special meat. And the main character works at a slaughterhouse and is given a live specimen, and he becomes attached to it. So, like, emotionally, I guess. So, He's aware that personal contact of any form is forbidden on pain of death. Little by little, he starts to treat her like a human being, and soon he becomes tortured by what he has lost and what might still be saved. So yes, this is eating people as animals, so yes. The next one is A Head Full of Ghosts by Paul Trembley. So it says, the lives of the Barretts, a normal suburban New England family, are torn apart when 14-year-old Marjorie begins to display signs of acute schizophrenia. To her parents' despair, the doctors are unable to stop Marjorie's bizarre outbursts and subsequent descent into madness. As their home devolves into a house of horrors, they reluctantly turn to a local Catholic priest for help. Father Wanderley suggests an exorcism. He believes the vulnerable teenager is the victim of demonic possession. So cute. He also contacts a production company that is eager to document the Barrett's plight for a reality TV show. With John, Marjorie's father, out of work for more than a year and medical bills looming, the family reluctantly agrees to be filmed, never imagining that The Possession would become an instant hit. When events in the Barrett household explode in tragedy, the show and the incidents it captures become the stuff of urban legend. 15 years later, a best-selling writer interviews Marjorie's younger sister, Mary. As she recalls those long-ago events from her childhood, she was just 8 years old. Painful memories and long-buried secrets that clash with the television broadcast and the internet blogs begin to surface. So, yes, very excited. Possession and reality TV show all in a book. Like, this is gonna be interesting. Then we have Chromophobia, which is a collection of short stories all about color being used uniquely in these horror stories. So it says, Chromophobia brings together the talent of 25 authors, newcomer and veterans alike, who explore the role of color in horror and deliver stories that use color in creative, unconventional, and unnerving ways. So I have read the first story and I really enjoyed it. It was really cool. So it was about the red string of fate, but there was also a black string of fate, so you're tied to who you're gonna kill. Like, one of you is gonna kill the other one eventually. So that was really cool. And so I would like to finish this and keep going. Then we have a classic, Interview with a Vampire by Anne Rice. I bought this used, but I own the Tom Cruise Interview with a Vampire movie. Very good. So next year I want to read the book and watch the TV show. I think it's on AMC or something. But yeah, Interview with a Vampire, classic. Then we move on to the manga and the comics. So I have Junji Ito's version of Frankenstein. So it says, the master of horror manga blends all his skill into bringing the anguished and solitary monster and the fouler beast who created him to life with the brilliantly detailed chiaroscuro for which he is known. Also included are 6 tales of Oshikiri, a high school student who lives in a decaying mansion connected to a haunted parallel world. Uncanny doppelgangers, unfortunately murdered friends, and a whole lot more are in store for him. So it looks like this is more than just Frankenstein, but I have tried to read Mary Shelley's Frankenstein and haven't gotten very far. Just the book version that I got is just solid chunk paragraphs. There's no negative space, and my brain just... So hopefully I can consume it in this form. I love the Frankenstein movies. I love Boris Karloff. He is on my wall. But yeah, I'm going to read this version. Next is No Longer Human, which is an adaptation of the original novel by Osamu Dazai. And look at this cover. Like, yes. So it says, Mine has been a life of much shame. I can't even guess myself what it must be to live the life of a human being. Plagued by a maddening anxiety, the terrible disconnect between his own concept of happiness and the joy of the rest of the world, Yozo Oba plays the clown in his desolate life, holding up a mask for those around him as he spirals ever downward, locked arm in arm with death. Osamu Dazai's immortal and supposedly autobiographical work of Japanese literature is perfectly adapted here to a manga by Junji Ito. The imagery wrenches open the text of the novel, one line at a time, and to sublimate Yozo's mental landscape into something even more delicate and grotesque. This is the ultimate in art by Ito, proof that nothing can surpass the terror of the human psyche. So, I did get a little bit into it and then got distracted before, but I want to actually dive in and read the whole thing. And the last manga that I physically own already is Tomie by Junji Ito. So yeah, I'm finally gonna read it. I love his longer form Uzumaki. Gyo was okay, but I loved Uzumaki. So Tomie says, murdered again and again, one girl always comes back for more. Tomie Kawakami is a femme fatale with long black hair and a beauty mark just under her left eye. She can seduce nearly any man and drive them to murder as well, even though the victim is often Tomie herself. While one lover seeks to keep her for himself, another grows terrified of the immortal succubus, but soon they realize that no matter how many times they kill her, the world will never be free of Tomie. So, yes, excited to read. This is supposed to be fabulous. And on to the comics that I own already. So the first one is 30 Days of Night, which is about vampires living in Alaska. So during the winter, the sun is not up for very long, and yeah, they have a lot of night time to do things. So I love this art style and very excited to get into it. This is a omnibus volume, so it should be the whole thing. And then we have Harrow County. This is the first omnibus volume. I have both, but I only am putting the first one on my list to get through in 2023. We'll see how I enjoy it. And it says, the first half of the highly acclaimed Eisner-nominated horror fantasy tale collected in a value-priced omnibus. Emmy always knew that the woods surrounding her home crawled with ghosts and monsters, but on the eve of her 18th birthday, she learns that she is connected to these creatures and to the land itself in a way she never imagined. So, yeah. I am excited. I've heard it has something to do with a witch, but I'm not sure. And just, yes. Yes, 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 yes. The next one is Wytches. So this is volume 1 by Snyder, Jock, Hollingsworth, and Robbins. So it has a definition for what a witch is. But yeah, like, I'm very excited. It says, when the Rooks family moves to the remote town of Litchfield, New Hampshire, to escape a haunting trauma, they're hopeful about starting over, but something evil is waiting for them in the woods just beyond town, watching from the trees, ancient and hungry. And the last one I already physically own is called From Hell, and this is by Alan Moore and Eddie Campbell, and it is a Jack the Ripper historical fiction. So 16 parts, all collected in one. It's supposed to be one of the best horror comics ever written, so I'm very excited. It is a chunky boy, so it might take a while, but we will get this read in 2023. So that's everything I already physically own. Things that I want to get are the next 2 omnibus volumes of PTSD Radio, So I have volumes 1 and 2 combined. So I need 3 and 4 combined and 5 and 6 combined. So yeah, I'm very excited. These are about a god of hair that has been neglected and is taking its toll on all of these people, and all of these little teeny chapters and storylines are all connected, and it's really good. So this is my favorite book of the year for 2022. So I'm ready to continue once I get the rest of it in English. So yes, Omnibus volumes 2 and 3 of PTSD Radio. I also read Higurashi When They Cry. I read the Abducted by Demons arc. I want to read the Cotton Drifting arc, so the next 2 volumes next year. These look like slice of life, and they're not. So, see, life couldn't be better. So this is a little small town in Japan, and there may have been grisly murder. So yeah, fun times, and abducted by demons. There may have been demons involved. So I want to continue on. There will also be a new Junji Ito book coming out called Tombs. I know nothing about it, but I'm excited, so that is also on my list. And the last ones are Dissolving Classroom. So it is a classic horror manga. There are 3 omnibus volumes that are hardcover in English that I want to get. So it is a post-apocalyptic world. So like an elementary school from, when was this, like the 60s, gets transported to a post-apocalyptic world. And there are monsters and creatures out there, but then it also turns into a Lord of the Flies type of situation with the kids themselves being terrors. So I'm very excited. It's supposed to be amazing. So I want to read not Dissolving, that was Ito, Drifting Classroom. So yes. So those are my 23 books for 2023. They are all horror. So there's a mix of middle grade, there's 1 YA, there's some adult, there's comics, there's manga, and there's some new releases coming out. So yeah, that is my plan to read. Hopefully I will read more. There are others coming out that I want to get to. There are also other books that I own that I would like to read, but I haven't gotten to yet. So I want to have read more of what I already own. So that's the plan. Keep your reading spooky. Bye!